Hello, my name's Emily and I run a small business called EMB Bubbles and Things. I do everything from wood burnings to resin work to just regular drawings. I do just a little bit of everything, but today I'm going to talk about wood burnings. So, the first thing to talk about when it comes to wood burning is the type of wood that you're using. There are actually a bunch of different types of wood out there, and the best type of woods to use are softwoods, and I learned that the hard way. So softwoods are like birch wood, basswood, I believe is what it's called, but I'll put up a list right here so you can see the best types of wood for wood burning, because if you get the wrong type and if it's too hard, it's so tedious and hard to actually burn itself, and it's actually not worth it in the end because it doesn't even look as good because the burn doesn't take as well. And secondly, there are different types of tools that you can use, and each tool has different attachments that do different things, and so I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. So there are a couple of different wood burning tools that you can actually work with, and today I'm going to be showing you how to work with this one. This wood burning tool, as you can see, is just kind of a long wand attached to a electric cord that you plug in, and the second you plug it in, it's going to start getting hot. So wood burning tools have many different types of tips. I'm going to be showing you each one of them, and this one right here looks kind of like this. It looks a little bit like a sharpened pencil. Alright, I got a little piece of scrap wood right here, and now that this is all heated up, it's been plugged in for a few minutes. If I put it like an inch away from my hand, I can feel the heat coming off of it. That's how hot these things get, guys, so do be careful using them. But you're just going to go place the tip onto the piece of wood, and using a steady hand with even pressure, make your line. You want to try to use as even pressure as possible. And that's what that looks like. So this does have to cool completely before we change the next tip on it. So you have to unplug it and wait at least 5 minutes, usually more. You can use pliers to take this off, but you have to be very careful because once this metal gets heated, it does become a little bit bendy. These less expensive tools aren't always the best quality, but if you wait completely before it cools down, you'll be just fine. Alright, so next we have our shading tip. So as you can see, it's angled and it has a flat back. So this tip part right here actually bends up a little bit. So what you do is you just press it flat on wherever you're trying to go. And you use small circle motions. And as you can see, it's giving that really nice shadow look that you would get as if you were shading with pencil. This tip right here, kind of like the other one, is just kind of a straight line tip. It's also great for dot work if you're doing pointillism and you want to do shading with it. And so you just take this, you have to be very gentle with this one because the metal will bend relatively easily. But you just kind of, if you want to do line work, again, you want to just use that steady, even pressure. And if you want to do dot work, it's very easy to just, it's very hot, very fast. So just kind of like that. Alright, here's our next tip, and this one is another shading tool. It is more rounded at the top and it's more precise. So you're gonna get some softer lines with these rather than the harsh dark burn. It's definitely gonna be more shaded and wispy than the other one. And last but not least, there's this tool, and this one is great for detailing because it's angled, so you can keep your hand steady without having to just go from top down. But again, it's going to do those very fine details. It's going to do those dots. If you turn it on its other side, it's going to be really good at blacking out large areas and just making them as dark as possible. And using all those techniques, you can very easily make something like this. There are, you can see the fine lines of where you would use a pencil type tool There's the shading in the mountains. There's little tiny lines in here. There's pointillism and dots along the edge. There's shading everywhere. And so, like you can see, using a combination of those tools, you can very easily make something like this. I just drew this out in pencil first and then used the tools on it afterwards. And I do really quickly want to show you this. This is the wood burning tool that I usually use. Unlike the other one, you need to plug this in. It actually has a knob where you can adjust the temperature of things. So if you're using a shading tool, you don't have to be light-handed or you don't have to work super quickly. You can actually just turn the temperature up and down. And so like the other tool, this one has a bunch of different tips. They just look a little bit different. That does all the shading. We have the fine detail point. We have the regular pencil tool. So it has all the same tips, but this one is cool because you don't actually have to turn it off to switch them off. You just take this little plier tool, pull one off, and put the next one on while it's still heated. It cools down a lot faster, it warms up a lot faster, and it is very simple to use. I would recommend this one more if you have the budget for it. I did get this one for around $100 at Michael's, but like I said, the other tool is completely usable and you can do the exact same things with that tool that you can do with this tool. It just takes a little bit longer. Alright, and so with all of those kind of tips and tricks given to you, I'm going to go ahead and show you a video of how I made this guy.